Hey there, Stasha the Period Coach here. Today I wanted to talk about how embracing your period is an act of activism. There's just a huge separation still between bleeding people and the rest of the world. And regardless of how you identify, when you bleed, there's shame, there's embarrassment, there's separation, there's less thanism. And that's unacceptable anymore. There's no reason for that. Well, there is a reason for it, but it's time for that reason to be ending. So we're bashing the taboo, we're embracing our blood, and it's time to actually move forward with embracing your flow, embracing your cycle. In and of itself is actually a form of activism. You are making progress for others by uncovering those layers of shame and doubt and guilt and all of that bad stuff that goes along with being a bleeder. By doing that, you're making it easier for the next generation, for those around you, for other people to see you as equal. By refusing to allow this one thing about you be hidden, damaging, a disparaging part of your life. And keep in mind that in a lot of parts of the world, when somebody is bleeding, that's a signal to attack, to rape. There's a lot of misinformation out there. Women die. Women are sold into slavery because they are seen during their period as unclean and they're forced outside of the home. They know that those women are home alone because they're bleeding. It's really it's just disgusting. It's really horrific what we do to bleeders around the world, and we need to stop it. And you may think, oh, I'm in a first world country, this is a real big privilege, I can't embrace my blood if this is happening to others. It starts here. If we could be having these conversations, then more funding would go to helping women in those countries as well. It's a ripple effect. So the more that we really embrace our own blood, the more other women around the world can also start to embrace theirs in a completely different way. So I really would encourage you to take a look at what it is that's holding you back. What's stopping you from enjoying your flow? And if you have a hormonal imbalance, if you have endometriosis, PCOS, any of those things, I understand. I have endometriosis. The pain that I've gone through 20 years of my life before I figured out how to end that pain was really horrific. And if you had told me then that I would actually enjoy my bleed one day, I would have probably murdered you. I mean, I was going to say I probably would have just never spoken to you again, which is probably, I've never murdered anybody. But in those days, I was in such pain, and it was such a hell, and I considered a lot of violence against myself, having a hysterectomy, taking pain meds until I died, just trying to take all of the pain meds and being like, if I take one more, I might not wake up. Is that such a big deal? I mean, it was a really painful, it was a really traumatic experience. So I understand where you're coming from if you're still in that space. But if you could look at your period as something that doesn't have to be hijacking your body, as something that could actually be an asset for you, and start learning about it openly, honestly, having conversations, seeking out help, seeking out real help, not just a medical intervention of more birth control or surgery, you could really actually see progress made in your own self, in your own body, and in your own condition, whatever that may be. And if you don't have any kind of condition, then even more so, what is stopping you from really embracing your cycle? Because to really hit equality, we really need to be able to love ourselves as a bleeding person. You can't have a level of equality where you're still feeling like you're less than other people because you bleed. Take a look at the book below. It's in pre-sale right now. I'm in the process of writing it, and jump on board. Help support it. Help me get this going to the next level and get it out into the world on an even bigger level and bigger scale. It's going to make a really big difference for women, and one of those women could be you. One of those women could be somebody that you pass it along to. You, in fact, could buy the book and pass it along to so many women that it makes a substantial difference in just your local community. Thank you ever so much for being such a rad-tastic community. Seriously, without you and this sisterhood, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you ever so much, absolutely from the bottom of my womb. Thank you. You are my ovary gang, and I love you.